Alright, well, greetings and welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 Turn Back Time, Season 1, Episode 1. Give me time to reason, give me time to think it through. As dawn breaks over Albuquerque, even though it's really 10 o'clock in the morning our time, this episode gets its name because, I just feel like flying in these conditions. So, here we have an Eastern Airlines Boeing 727-200 dressed in the America's Bicentennial livery, preparing for a westbound flight to Grand Junction. It isn't just any run, it's a ritual reckoning. The premiere episode opens the Turn Back Time series with a deeply personal mission to compensate for lost dreams and honor the symbols that were once overlooked. Onboard are real Canvasbacks and preserved embryos, living in latent echoes of what might have been. The aircraft, registered as November 8866 Echo, becomes a vessel of memory, carrying not just biological cargo, but emotional weight, childhood regrets, unspoken wishes, and the quiet ache of having been called into silence. The Canvasback duck, on my end, once dismissed as merely okay, is retroactively officiated, especially in mid-flight, as the symbolic patron of this journey, as the 727 climbs into the peach-hued sky as though it seems. The episode weaves together archival sounds, reflective narration, and ambient music to evoke a sense of suspended time. The Bicentennial livery itself becomes a metaphor, celebrating the nation's past whilst confronting the personal histories we often leave unexamined. By the time Eastern 5-4 Heavy descends into the mists of western Colorado, the viewer, which I will make for the viewer, is left with more than a flight log. They're invited into a ceremony of compensation, a delivery of dreams deferred, and a sunrise that does not just illuminate the landscape, but the soul to that of the storyteller. So alright, we're parked at gate Bravo 1, one of my favorite gates, because it's one of the most spacious gates at Albuquerque International Sunport. The sun hasn't quite committed to rising yet, as though it seems. I'll say it has. Just like I hadn't committed to choosing the Canvasback when I had the chance. Today we fly not just with cargo and passengers, but with compensation. Embryos, real Canvasbacks, and a sealed envelope are what we could have been. It isn't just a flight plan, it's reckoning. Alright, so before we go, let me check around the plane. Yeah, it's too dark to check the cuckoo vein. Or is it? The Cooper vein? Or is it? What do you think? Is it too dark? Right here. Right here. That's where the cuckoo vein is. Next off we go. I'll check under the wings. Rather dark right now, so I'm gonna check the underbelly and check the underbelly hard. Or will it be hard? We'll check. True or false about our emergency plan? Let me don't tell how we got in the airplane. It's from here. Alright, it's from here. So down a little, or there. Height of the Canvasback. Let's see what I can do for a human. although not really high for a human. Okay, I'm going to give you a true or false question about the emergency plan. Our emergency plan is if we have an engine failure before V1, we'll land straight ahead. We'll close the throttle and yield to oncoming traffic. And of course, if we have an engine failure after V1 and we're still in Albuquerque, we come back the way we came in. And if we're at or above 10,000 feet, we either go for the Rio Grande Riverbed, Coronado Airport, Santa Fe Municipal Airport, or even yet another area in the Rio Grande Riverbed, if we're outside of Albuquerque. And even if we're in Albuquerque and we're going too fast, do we go to the Rio Grande Riverbed? Too fast for an emergency, that is. True or false? Alright. Let's go back at it with the 727. What I have here, definitely, when I fly Eastern Airlines now, I definitely go for the Bicentennial because the United States is just so important to me, as you can see here. Yes, so very proudly we hail. Yes. In good ways, of course. Okay. Now before I go, let me check the top of the wings and okay, there's no auxiliary power unit here on the port wing. Let me take you to the other one. Okay. And while I'm at it, of course, do we, as far as, exits go, you look at the door here. Since this is a service door as well, this also is used as an exit. Do you follow all instructions? Like, do you grab, pull, and open the door? And of course, yeah, like we're really a whisper jet. This thing's loud. Ooh, Pratt & Whitney. You can tell by the emblem on the engine. Oh, yeah. Okay. Which way? Alright. Which one? Okay, the light's illuminating now. Okay, let me check the tail engine once more. Still too dark in there. Alright. Okay, this here's definitely an emergency exit, so you follow all instructions here? Okay, since we're back to the 727 again, from time being I record this video, since we're back at the 727 again, here's the auxiliary power unit here on the starboard wing right here. This here is the auxiliary power unit. I'll say again, this is the auxiliary power unit right here where my cursor is. True or false? You take all the exit caps off and you cover the APU in the event of an evacuation. I'll say again, in the event of an evacuation, you take these off and put these here. And right here, right now, of course, rows 18 and 20, 18F and 20F. And on the port side, it's 18 alpha and of course 20 alpha. Rows 18 and 20. If you're seated in an exit row, true or false, you pull the window shade up to close and down to open. And on conventional windows on the 727, where my cursor is, do you pull the window shades down to close, up to open. And now, of course, when we go this way here, true or false? Yes, even though this is a service hatch here, hatch is another word for door. For some reason that word came to mind. Do you, of course, like anything else, do you assess all conditions looking through here? Grab, pull, push outward? in the event of evacuation, you let me know. I'm gonna check the cabin in a minute or two. I just need to get the battery on. And yes, so probably we hail from 1776 to 1976. All right. Okay. Here we are. Okay. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna enter the cockpit now. Just to hear that correctly, just to turn on the auxiliary power unit and battery. Well, this is just to entertain you a little bit. Oh, and Joshua MD80. Once again, if you're watching this video, yes, there were fire tests that took place. It's just that, you know, I took the iPhone out because Flight Sim Studios gave it to me for some reason. Okay. I'm also an acting flight engineer too. Landing gear levers down. Fuel quantity. Only at 62%. Yeah. And 62%. I had to adjust that myself. And let me set the altitude to 30,000 feet above ground level. Just so you know, I'm not level at 350 anymore because, to name one matter, I haven't been wanting to fly at 35,000 feet above ground level. And my name wasn't really catchy for some, so I chose to go Labrador 5-4 because there's things I like other than aviation too. And I'm an animal lover. Alright. I had a checklist here somewhere. Stand by while I go get it. Okay. Okay, for right now, I'm gonna turn the battery on. Cross feed valves. Okay, so let me turn the auxiliary power unit on. You ready? You ready? Okay. Alright, I'm gonna do a fire. Okay, so now, since I got the phone on board, I'm going to go ahead and open it to pre-flight. Pre-flight before.
Four-star check started. Altimeter is set to 1013.
Balls and all that chaos in there.
Nav beacon and logo light set.
And while that chaos is going on, let's see what's here. Stand by, okay. Huh. All courteous. Huh, it's different in here. Where is it? Okay, passenger signs are on. You know how to use these things? And to the next one over. You know how to use these things. Alright, so there's no doormat. I'm telling you right now, there's no doormat. Just let me look around, okay. Let me find a perfectly aligned safety card. Oh, looks like we're in row 2 Bravo, for that matter, today. Oh. Wow, some old advertisement there. Okay, while the cockpit chaos is going on, let me look at all these safety cards here. Alright. Let me go in row 3. But before I do, let me... I'll operate this. I just asked you a true or false right here, right now. So, if you watched my 727 series a while, like my previous ones, please do, and you'll understand why. You can revisit this video at any time. I'm Labrador 5'4", I'm a cool guy, so... You don't get anything here. You see my other gameplays. Especially if you like the 727. Row 3 Alpha. Okay, we go in the back of the plane here. Yeah, everybody likes the first class cabin for some reason. You know, I always wanted to be a first class passenger, and this is the only place I could really live it out. Ooh, a fire engine standing by. Look for them. Canvasback embryos for another flight. starboard wing is illuminating the chow truck. And now I go out there. Everybody okay? I just can't be checking every seat in the first class cabin. So, if there's anything you want me to see or do better in another gameplay, let me know. And of course I can actually try something for that matter. Hey, row 10, move. I swear, please, because... And once again. And even more. It's for event of evacuation. Those seated in row 18 and 20, you should know what to do. Rows 18 and 20, you should know what to do at this point. If you've watched my other 727 gameplays. And I ask that you please do. For I also, you know, there's why. Wish to offer compensation for lost dreams too. Same stuff right here. Same stuff. Okay, I can check the control surfaces here. Alright, I'll just check them here, okay? See this? When we land in Grand Junction, I'm to open those. These are called spoilers. Speed brakes. Whatever you want to call them. Okay. Okay. No warnings back here. Just like in the front galley. No warnings back here. Again, no warnings back here. No warnings back here. That's not good. Flight takes a long time, okay? How did you know to unlock that? So it seems as if everybody gets a magenta mirror. I'm gonna ask one of you to go check the cuckoo vein. That's what I call the Cooper vein. Cuckoo vein. I want you to check it. You get in there okay? I'll ask you again, can you get in there okay? Alright, so I'm going back to the cockpit. While I'm at it, y'all. Okay, while I'm at it, y'all. Please fasten your seatbelts, seat upright, feet on the floor. Feet on the floor, flat. Hands in lap. And so once again, feet on the floor, flat. 6 on the deck. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, this is your acting Captain Labrador 5-4 here. We very respectfully ask at this time if you could please, if at all possible, feet flat on the floor. In other words, 6 on the floor. If you could please, of course, 6 on the deck. You could please do 6 on the deck. Sit up straight, head and eyes straight forward as much as you possibly can. Hands in lap. And of course, please fasten your seatbelts as tight as you can. The reason why I say this is because when we move this thing forward, you know, you gotta protect your neck and everything. Flight engineer, since I'm here, during takeoff, please face forward. Okay. Okay. I'm going to continue prepping. Ladies and gentlemen, when we push the airplane back, please prepare for a temporary outage. Please prepare for a temporary outage of the aircraft for, I believe that, you know, this whole thing here, get this, you know, it's going to go dark. This whole airplane is going to go dark. And when this airplane goes dark, as you may have watched your safety briefing from earlier, please, whatever you do, use the aircraft's temporary power outage to locate the nearest exit. That's actually the only fear that I'll cause here, if you're afraid of the dark. So I ask at this time, as usual, go ahead and keep all window shades up as much as possible. At this point, let's go. Alright. Ground's gonna get us. We'll release the brake. I used to think pushback was just procedure, but now I see it as a metaphor, being gently pulled from where you were comfortable into motion. The Bicentennial livery must glint in the morning haze. Nation 1's pause to reflect, so do I. Eastern 5-4 Heavy is ready to turn back time. At least this is one of those things. We go VFR because, you know, we can't really stay at our assigned headings and altitudes anyway.
Albuquerque ground, Eastern 5-4 Heavy request taxi for takeoff.
Hey, doll.
Departing straight out.
Eastern 5-4 heavy taxi and hold short of runway 81 taxiway. Alpha 1. Contact tower 123.123.75 ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 8 using taxiway Alpha Eastern 5-4 Heavy.
The reason why I call the lady doll is because, you know, this is technically an Aqua song. The Turn Back Time song.
Albuquerque ground, Eastern 5-4 Heavy requesting pushback.
Eastern 5-4 heavy pushback request accepted.
Okay. Parking brake. I hope it's released. If the answer is no, I'll go back in. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the pushback phase has begun. I say again, the pushback phase has begun. Taxiing out, moving with a purpose. The engines, or in this case, the auxiliary power unit, is humming like old vinyl, nostalgic, imperfect, and warm. I remember being coddled, shielded from disappointment, but dreams deferred do not disappear. They await. And today they board with me. Just like if you watch the Quantum Grove or Mark III Zenith, that's actually who inspired me to make this video, is YouTube user Quantum Grove, Mark III Zenith, etc., whatever you want to call it. And yes, you're giving me time to reason, you're giving me time to think it through.
Albuquerque ground, Eastern 5 East Heavy requesting pushback. Steer the aircraft to the right.
Eastern 5, Eastern Heavy, request Bicentennial.
You know, Eastern Airlines is a legendary airline, as some of you probably know. They've been around way long before anybody here in real life was born. Just about all of you. I wouldn't know this, you know. The reason why I started Turn Back Time is because I wanted to be an Eastern and Pan Am pilot when I was a kid, and what I did not know was that, you know, to name one matter, I was not born in 1991, when of course Eastern Airlines ceased operations on January 18th, 1991, and Pan Am on December 4th, 1991.
Albuquerque ground, Eastern 5 East Heavy requesting the end of pushback.
Eastern 5, Eastern Heavy, request and pushback received.
And if you ask why Eastern Airlines ceased operations, there's a culmination of factors including competition with other airlines and poor management. I think Pan Am did the same thing, and of course they filed for bankruptcy. Although these airlines don't exist in real life anymore, actually Eastern Airlines still does, but as a charter airline. And although the legacy may be gone, I'll say that, you know, I'm trying to live it out here at Labrador 54 Gaming Productions. Oh, I thought I saw something here. Pigeons. Chickadees. Immune to the airplane, huh? I'm glad to see that you are in the game. Even though you're not immune to an airplane in real life, nor is the plane immune. I'm glad to see that we're turning back time. Or at least trying to. Because back when I was younger, I used to collect Audubon birds, and I still do. Like, these are supposedly black cap chickadees, and these are rock doves. But the truth, I'm more fond of rock doves. Now, with black cap chickadees, on the other hand, something tells me that they're worth keeping for some reason. Okay, I'm going back to the starboard end. Alright, now you're talking. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your acting Captain Labrador 54 here. Prepare for a temporary power outage in the airplane. I'm going to go ahead and knock out this half of the menu.
After start checks. Taxi checks. Taxi lights are on. Flaps 15.
Ladies and gentlemen, I told you that this airplane will be temporarily darkened.
CC decimal 07 pumps all on. Hydraulic pumps all on. Air conditioning.
All the chaos in the cockpit's going on. Let's of course walk around Albuquerque Sunport with the drone. Just like how I like it. Yeah. I think my first flight out of Albuquerque Sunport took place around here, in this general area. I could be wrong. The reason why I say this is because, you know, I've actually flown out of this airport before in real life, going to the Philippines. My father took me and the whole family this way. And then from there, of course, when the summer of 1999 rolled around, of course, best trip of my life, I was right here in this general area. Now you might ask, why do you take Gate Bravo 1 a lot when you play the game? Play the game referring to Flight Simulator? It's because in the late spring, early summer of 2007, I went on a trip to Europe for a couple months. And, of course, that was the year I was on the cruise ship MV Marco Polo for, of course, 7 weeks, estimated to be. And the reason why I go to B1 a lot is because, as you can see here, Gate Bravo 1, this is a very spacious gate. This is the gate, you know, that has everything, so to speak. We'll say it again, it's the gate that has, this is the gate that has everything, so to speak. Gate Bravo 1. And now, I gotta get back to the plane. I think they're done in there, and if they're not, then... Of course, at Labrador 5-4 Gaming Productions, we never give up. You can struggle for as much as you can, but you can't give up. The only real thing I think of giving up is if, you know, the aircraft took even longer than this to start. Someone else, yeah. Let's do it. Now you're talking.
Auto brakes set to exit. Ignition set to continue. Essential power Gen 3. Anti-skid is on. Strobe lights on.
Prepare
Landing lights
for
on. Taxi
power outage.
Transponder on. APU on.
Let's let you hear that today.
Boost pump all on. And cross speed number 2. Oil cooler off. Air conditioning set. Set trip. Pressure switch on. Before takeoff, checks complete.
GPS all the way, we are. Okay, I'm going to begin the taxi phase at this point. Even though turn back time is about being in a relationship, I could definitely see things here that are reminiscent to lost dreams, and of course compensation for them. Call it off your judgment what you will. Okay, at this point, ladies and gentlemen, this is your acting Captain Labrador 5-4 here with some good news. We are taxiing out to the runway now, moving with a purpose. The engines hum like old vinyl, nostalgic, imperfect and warm. I still remember being coddled, and of course, shielded from disappointment, but dreams deferred do not disappear, they wait. And today they board with me. And since I'm only getting older from time I record this video, I thought to live this out while I was still young. Okay, we're almost at runway 08, so... Oh yeah, I forgot I have a public address system. Let me start. That's okay. Alright, I forgot I had this, so... Cabin crew call. Where is it? I thought I had it. Cabin crew call. All cabin crew prepare for takeoff at this time. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, you know, since this is Labrador 5 for Gaming Productions, y'all heard this too. Use the aircraft at your own risk. No, I'm not asking for a snip, whatever you want to call it. Here we are, Eastern 5-4, at the hold short point. Heck yeah! Heck yeah! Now, lights are bright. I'm gonna fly like this. Okay, we need to wait while we're here.
Albuquerque Tower, Eastern 5-4 heavy at runway 8, ready for departure, departing straight out.
Eastern 5-4 heavy, 115. Straight out departure. Cleared for takeoff, runway 8.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 8, 5-4 heavy.
Thank you, doll. You realize that the series is namesaked after an Aqua song, is that right? I never really cheated on anyone in a relationship, really. So, the other parts after give me time to reason, give me time to think it through, that doesn't really, of course, apply to me. So if only I could turn back time and say what I still had, I would have very well done that. And I could have been an Eastern Airlines pilot already. But I'm an actor version. Ooh. United States Postal Service just swung by. I'll check it later. Okay, let's do this. 2, 1, now. We're flying the bare minimum flaps today. They should be able to fly well. Let's go. 1, rotate. Yeah. V2, you're up. Positive rate of climb, 1,000 feet above ground level. Yeah.
Eastern Flight 4 heavy leaving right airspace. Change your position. Road.
Albuquerque Tower, Eastern
Flight 4 heavy frequency
Okay, to Glenwood Hills.
Albuquerque Flight 4 Eastern Flight 4 heavy.
Right.
3 miles east of Albuquerque, about 200 feet.
Request clearance to transition to Charlie airspace.
Charlie airspace.
Eastern Flight 4 heavy. Roger. Squawk 6-4-3-1.
Squawk 6-4-3-1
Eastern Flight 4 heavy.
Eastern Flight 4 heavy radar contact 5 miles east of Albuquerque, 7,600 feet. Cleared through the Charlie airspace.
Cleared through the Charlie airspace.
Eastern Flight 4 heavy.
Alright, we just passed through Volterra and Fort Hills. Now let's go to Glenwood Hills for that matter. I'm going to fly it manually over Glenwood Hills just to show the plane off. In good ways, of course. I never thought of that. Here's a different angle of, let's say, El Dorado High School, S.Y. Jackson Elementary School, and Eisenhower Middle School, and Glenwood Hills, where all the daydreaming took place of being an Eastern Airlines pilot. Okay, let's see. We have here. Okay. After takeoff, let's do it.
After takeoff. Ignition set all. Landing lights on. Landing gear on.
All right.
Eastern Flight 4 heavy radar space rotated 120. Frequency change approved.
There we go.
1200.
Frequency change.
Frequency change Eastern Flight 4 heavy.
Albuquerque
engaged.
Eastern Flight 4 heavy. Type 3 miles north Alpha Charlie
9,000 feet.
Request flight following.
Eastern Flight 4 heavy Albuquerque approach. Squawk 4502.
Squawk 4502
Eastern Flight 4 heavy.
Eastern Flight 4 heavy radar contact 4 miles north control
Let's do this.
9,400 feet.
Roger,
Eastern Flight 4 heavy.
Well, I guess the flight engineer was right. No lights here on, except for radio. I'll say again, no lights on, except for this glowworm here. Alright, no lights on except for the VHF-2 glowworm. Alright, even more so, no lights on except for the VHF-2 glowworm. Heard that correctly, very high frequency number 2 radio glowworm right there. Because, you know, I definitely call this a glowworm. Think it looks like a glowworm? Okay. Looks like, you know, the valve transfers on for some reason. Well, we're climbing to altitude. Let me look over the engineer's procedure. The sun's bright. I also want to be a flight engineer too. When I was younger. After takeoff. I don't understand why that opened. I don't understand why this was opened. More pressure. After takeoff. Hydraulic pumps. Let's check them. Okay, they're on. Oh no. Those pumps are closed. Outlet power. I'll turn these on.
Going to 123 decimal minor east 4 heavy. Albuquerque approach eastern 54 heavy 12,500.
Hello. Coming off. God power is on. We're halfway to cruising altitude, so it's getting colder now, so I'm going to turn the heats on. Turn all that on. It's getting colder now from time to record this video, which probably means lesser productions with us. That really sucks, you know. Think of why I made this summer wind series. Let me talk to the passengers again. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your acting Captain Labrador 54 here. We very respectfully thought to let you know that we are halfway to cruising altitude, and when we're just about there, we will turn off the seatbelt signs, and of course, you are to use this aircraft at your own risk while you're flying. And while you are looking out the windows and everything, which you must be doing, please do so. And of course, if you have nature calls to make, move with the purpose, and do not use the lavatories on board as your personal phone booths or whatever. And so at this point, we're all prepping the chow for you, and of course, as part of your chow today, you have Poop on a Boat vegan sushi boat, or actually organic Poop on a Boat vegan sushi boat, and we made sure that your fish, they died a noble cause, like any Japanese, whatever you want to say. And as of right now, since we're turning back time, like that Aqua song, I'll say that I've done at least something to get some compensation for lost dreams here. At this point, all cabin crew, please continue prepping the galley for chow. And this also includes the rear. Thank you. We're not there yet, okay? They're referring to cruising altitude. So probably we hail. Yeah, that's no, I'm not gonna do the Robin Williams RV ritual yet. Still climbing. I'm not going on top of the plane yet. Okay, APU is off. Saying again, APU is off. We're cruising. We're trying to reach cruising altitude. Alright, we have 8,000 to go. Or 9,000 to go until... Maybe I was right to say this. 8,000 to go until cruising altitude has been achieved. And now I'm going to go and retract the flaps. All the way. This point. right now as we're climbing. There seems to be some cloud cover. Okay, so right now, as we're climbing, I'll say, yep, I was right to say this too. There's about 8,000 to go till we're at cruising altitude. The canvasbacks are quiet, the embryos are sealed, and they better be. We all look over the mesas and think, even amidst cloud cover. You heard that correctly, even amidst cloud cover. That this is what healing looks like. Not dramatic, not loud, just steady. I've never officiated the canvasback as our duck. But today, in recent days from the time I record this video like a few days ago, I did. I do officiate that as the official duck for Labrador Threadcore Gaming Productions. Mid-air, mid-life, mid-thought. Eastern 5-4 Heavy is carrying memories, meaning, and a little bit of mercy. First, you get the rest. Thank you. Alright. They know I eat lightly, so I'm gonna go eat. Well, I'm pretending to eat my chow, I'll say. Oh, we have 5,000 feet above ground level to go. I'd wrap my chow and eat it. A simple, warm, familiar thermos of barley broth, a slice of cornbread, and a single dried apricot tucked in like a memory. I eat with a purpose, not because I'm hungry, but because this is ceremony. Actually, no, in this video, I'm trying to get ahead of hunger a little bit. Every bite is a nod to the years I was coddled, felt comfort instead of challenge, of which I can understand why. And like I stated from before, I chew with purpose. I'm feeding the part of me that chose to fly. How about the rest of you? What are your chow stories? Let me know. Alright. We're climbing, as usual. 4,000 to go. At this point. 4,000 feet above ground level to go. 3,500 to go.
4 heavy contact Denver Center on 118.157.
Took too long to get there.
Going to 118.574 heavy. Denver Center, Eastern 54 heavy, flight level 265.
Eastern 54 heavy Denver Center contact continue.
Okay, at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and turn off the seatbelt sign. Let me, of course, talk to them. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your acting captain, Labrador 5-4 here. We have reached satisfactory cruising altitude. We should have been there already. However, having known the airplane, we'll level off. And having known you all, I know you're all careful. So at this point, we're going to turn off the seatbelt sign. I'm going to ask you to answer nature calls carefully. Gosh, I can't really speak today because I really want to make this video. Pardon me. So at this point, answer all your nature calls like you usually would. And of course, do not use the laboratories as your personal phone booths. And of course, worst goes first, and you get it. And so, right now, while you're all answering your calls, you may go and do so, and I'll turn the seatbelt sign off in a minute. I trust you. Y'all know who we are. And of course, as you come out, you get your chow, and you're all eating the same thing. Organic, poop on a boat, vegan sushi boat. Should be available at your seats when you come in. Of course, when they're delivering the chow. Alright, 1,000 to go from what I heard. Anyway, like, when they're delivering your chow, work together. Don't fight over anything. You share, and you do all that. And of course, at this point, all cabin staff, please distribute the chow. Thank you. While we're at 30,000 feet above ground level, I'm going to go check. Make sure that the seatbelt sign is really truly off. I trust that we're going to be at 30,000 feet above ground level. Ladies and gentlemen, here I am, your acting captain, Labrador 5-4. I'll go to the starboard side of the airplane today. That's okay. I'll go to the port, actually. Seatbelt sign's off. I'm gonna hang out here in the first class cabin a bit. Well, you heard the woman correctly. I say the same thing too. Alright, well, I'm here in the first class cabin. Below us, the plateaus stretch like canvas, red, golden, quiet. I imagine the duck placements, one near the San Juan River bend, another by the edge of Forgotten Arroyo. Each canvasback is released with intention, not randomly, not carelessly. They land where dreams once stalled, and in their wake they leave ripples of remembrance. And in this video I'll say, go ahead and endanger the canvasback. There was one point in time in real life that I did not officiate the canvasback when I had the chance, but now I do. I place them with reverence. One duck for every year I send maybe later. One dump for every dream I shelved in favor of safety. They don't just land, they reclaim. Eastern 5-4 hums like a lullaby from childhood. I am still decoding. The Bicentennial stars on the fuselage shimmer in the morning light. I'm not just flying over history, I'm flying through it. And somewhere below, a canvasback finds water. That should be good enough. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the chow's out. Okay, we're over Colorado now and only 140 miles away. That's not far. Let me go check the emergency wing, if that's okay. Navajo Lake. It's definitely an important place. Or while I'm at it, everybody heard me too. Our landing plan is when we get to Flying M&M Ranch. And the owners of Flying M&M Ranch, I apologize for even mentioning your field. It's just a good waypoint marker. Process thereof descent will begin when we get to Flying M&M Ranch. I'll say it again. You all heard me correctly in there too. When we get to Flying M&M Ranch, the process thereof descent will begin. Okay. So we go to the back of the plane. Canvasbacks, just like any duck, without etiquette. Without proper etiquette or anything like that, they're just digging in. Row 18, here we are. Row 18F. Let's do an assessment here. Alright, row 18 Foxtrot. Let's see how anything's doing here. I saw the sun was bright. Now, gotta get down. Heck yeah. Check the wing. We're only 130 miles away. Of course, you know what that means, right? Well, here at Labrador 5 Gaming Productions, I want to know, what can I see and or do better to make these compensations for lost streams better? The reason why I ask is because when Eastern Airlines ceased operations way long before I was born, Eastern Airlines, I think, in real life deserved to cease operations. And of course, the grounds were justifiable for such actions. Like, they were competing against other airlines, and they were managed poorly. And of course, the airline went on strike. Then on January 18th, 1991, the airline closed. They said we'll be back, and I wonder how true that is now, because back in 2015, I saw an Eastern Airlines 737 fly again, and of course I'm all like, that can't be so. But I'm trying to live out the golden days as best I can, right here. Look at those San Juan mountain range. We're getting close. I say again, close. When we get to Telluride, I need to get back into the cockpit. Alright, listen up. This goes for you too. When we get to Telluride, when we get to Telluride, I'll begin the process there of the descent. And when we get to Grand Junction, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this when we get to Grand Junction. I'm going to use everything our airplane has. Like, I'm going to put the airplane on APU, GPU, and of course I'm going to open the rear air stair so we can expedite the offloading process, because this airplane has such luxury as a rear air stair. When I shut down the engines or put the aircraft on APU, you may disarm the cuckoo vane. right now, let's do Robin Williams RV ritual. Yeah, just like Bob Monroe on top of the Gornicky bus. Yeah, just like Bob Monroe on top of the Gornicky BUS. Yeah, on top of the Gornicky bus. I'm Robin Williams right here. On top of the Gornicky bus. And now I'm gonna go right this way. And of course, this was the Gornicky bus, although I can't get the best angle. Robin Williams, you know, he peered down and yells, "Jamie!" And then next thing you know, Travis Gornicky says, "Bob?" And from here, this is where, of course, Bob and Jamie's marriage got especially tested even more. And of course, since America, you know, is a free country, let me do this. Right here. Are you an idiot? What are you doing on top of the bus? Or in this case, are you an idiot? What are you doing on top of the airplane? Of course I'm an idiot. I'll say. Everybody is. It's just a matter of levels. Yes. Am I Labrador 5-4 right to say that? Everybody's everything. It's just a matter of levels. Miles. You heard me correctly, 80 nautical miles. You all better be done eating chow. Okay, I'm going to start the descent process there right now. Let me get past the Telluride Regional Airport at least. Okay, we're passing it right now. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start the descent process. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is your Acting Cam Labrador 5-4 here. We will now begin the process there of the descent. As of right now, we're going to turn the seatbelt sign back on, and if you're already committed to answering your nature calls, go ahead and do so, but be really careful, like we've trained you to do from before. And of course, let me get everything else. Alright. As we begin the landing process thereof right now, we are approaching the Grand Junction from here. The sun's higher now, but still aloft. I imagine the envelope in the cargo holding open itself, spilling out old dreams, duck calls, and bicentennial patches. The landing isn't just arrival, it's acknowledgement. Eastern 5-4 Heavy is cleared to touchdown whenever it's ready, with everything I never said. If only I can turn back time and say what I still had. Let's of course go ahead and begin the process there of descent. I'll call it 10,000 feet. Harder from you. Grand Junction. Come on.
miles
8
south,
miles
level
south, flight level
300,
300,
fall
fall to land.
Eastern flight 4 heavy, Grand Junction tower. Altimeter 2, 15
Fly straight, runway 29,
Runway
Eastern
9
54 heavy.
54 heavy.
Let's fly this thing over Montrose here, just to be on the safe side. You know, so that way we're closer to fire engines and all that. If anything goes wrong. Alright, listen up. We're beginning the descent process thereof right now. If anything goes wrong here, we'll land at Montrose Regional Airport. And if that doesn't work, we will, of course, go to, the Black Canyon, and we're gonna land in a body of water in that area. And as for right now, since the descent process has begun, and at this point, I will, of course, do each and everything I possibly can to get you down in good ways, of course, and moving with a purpose. Hold on tight, y'all. Purpose. Is everybody ready? Okay, when we get to 10,000, I'll get the landing lights on. Okay. We'll do assisted landing all the way. Assisted piloting all the way. For this matter, okay? Still approaching landing at this point.
Landing, left.
Flaps turning. I don't think so. All lights are on. I'm sure. Actually, let me go outside and do a check really quick. Too late. Those of you who want a drone view, I looked anyway. here, so better hold on. Parent interest 20 miles away. Okay, as soon as we're over the plateaus here, I will lower the gear again. Okay, I trust that it's in. Got demonstratability today. I'm not going outside again until I'm on the ground. Something like that. Yeah, eBay's telling me something, I'll check it later. Certain way. For combat landing. Some of you even knew. Hold on. ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Grand Junction. Just because all those alarms went off in the cockpit does not mean you get to imitate it and annoy other people. Even though I'd like to, at one point in time, just please don't, because, you know, I understand that I'd get their itis, and I, of course, hence did what I did just now. Now, of course, at this point, at the after landing, I'll run through that, and
After landing, check.
y'all are golden at this point.
Brake pressure check. Pressure switch to ground. Landing and strobe lights are off.
Oops, gonna off-road this thing. .727 was meant for this. Okay, there's a vehicle on the runway anyway. Hey, don't be funny with either of them, okay? Just don't be funny with either. All the truth and
Grand Junction, ground, Eastern 54 heavy request taxi to the gate.
Eastern 54 Heavy taxi, gate 29er, via taxiway Alpha. Way Alpha.
wait for instructions.
Taxiing to gate 29er via taxiway Alpha, Eastern 54 heavy.
Okay. I guess that's Labrador 54's official gate, is gate 29er. Guess that's our official gate. Good thing I was flying VFR today to get here to Grand Junction, because if I'd gone IFR, I actually would never have fully met my assigned altitude and heading, and of course, the desired time, and of course, at this point, since we're now at Grand Junction, we just need to get to 829er. At that point, we can begin one more thing for real this time. Oh, United Parcel Service in a passenger area. UPS. Or no, that's Thai International Airways. Refugees are welcome here, okay? They're usually pretty good. I even know some refugees, those are. Okay, as soon as this whole thing turns green, I'll put the aircraft on auxiliary power unit and we'll begin one more thing. And I'll request all the service items at that point. Okay, there's one there, and bear in mind that if they ever intersected the airplane, just like in The Sims, when it says can't intersect other objects, they're gonna be intersecting other objects. Let me tell you this. Flight Simulator, what more can we say and or do? Well, welcome back. Gate 29er. Labrador 54 Cove. Labrador 54's kennel, I guess. What do you want to call it? Labrador 54's, you name it. Just gotta turn it green. Yes! All set. Set the aircraft to APU. And when I'm leaving, I'll put it on cold and dark.
Grand Junction, bound 4 heavy. Could you please connect your jetway to the aircraft?
Eastern Flight 4 Heavy. Flight 4 Heavy. The jetway to the aircraft. Wait to the aircraft. Try later. We try later.
Oh no. You didn't say any of that. Fine, cold and dark it is. At this point, let's see what we have here. Why can't you connect the jelly to the aircraft? Okay, the door's open. Let me go assess as to why not. Here I am living on my dream job for the day. Sorry I didn't get to do this when I was younger because, you know, I wouldn't know that Eastern Airlines would cease operations up until I was a late teenager. Mid to late teenager, really. No one told me. Okay, looks like I can't request it because I think the fit's too tight. Time to begin one more thing. Alright. Alright, peeps. Get out! Alright, they're deboarding, so... one more thing. Let me get it somewhere. Somehow, some way, shape, or form. Alright. In Operation Canvasback, everyone will be. Okay, one more thing has begun at this point. I say again, one more thing has begun at this point. Actually, I'll do it from here today. Since this is, of course, an American airplane. I'll get one more thing from right here, where the emblem is. Remind you of who we are, of who and what we are. We'll get it from here, okay? One more thing. One more thing, okay? Then we close out the episode. Some dreams do not expire. They just wait for the right aircraft. Eastern 54 Heavy today, November 8866 Echo, has completed its mission for the day. And somewhere in the wetlands, a canvasback calls finally chosen. And as of today, of course, this whole time, why I failed to reach my dream to be a real-life Eastern Airlines pilot was, give me time to reason, give me time to think it through. And of course, I wouldn't fly Eastern Airlines back in the FSX days because, the graphics, were worse than this, and it would look too cartoony-like. But this time, not so much anymore. And as of now, in the words of Aqua, I kind of turned back time and said what I still had. Otherwise, that is our show. If you like, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all around.